Hello and welcome, my name is Lynx and we are here to continue The Spirit Sisters. Oji-san, chapter 11. There seemed to be a typo over there, or maybe it's the problem with the font only, I'm not sure. The sun sets on the streets of Tokyo, Japan. Within one of the city's homes lies a pair of individuals cuddled up in the safety of their bed. Neither had wasted time getting comfortable within their own house. The walls were covered in framed pictures and memories of their youth. I mean, but considering that Wendy died, wouldn't everyone be kinda, you know, shocked, to say the least, that she's around? The echoes of the childhood could be heard emitted through the walls. Wendy finds refuge in the man beside her. Oh boy, we don't want the details of that. She goes up to hug him as they both begin to wake up as they find comfort in each other's body warmth. We don't need to know the details! Good morning. I think, by the way, the game page said this was Yuri. Yeah, the tag says it's Yuri. On the other hand, it also kinda warns you, maybe you don't want that Yuri because you know who's there, who's out there for the possibility. And Wendy coos, yawning from her slumber. Tayo, now brushing the sleep from his eyes, answers back. Oh my... Gee, I can't remember the last time I slept that well. You're telling me this is the first good night's sleep I've had in 6 months? Yeah, I guess nothing beats sleeping in your own bed. They both start to get up as they do their all morning routine together. One they heavy dances they had first parted. I mean, in the beginning it sounded like they are just childhood friends. Clearly they're more than that. They both bathed, brushed their teeth, prepared breakfast, brewed some coffee and then got dressed and ready for the day. Laying her head on Tayo's lap, the girl gets comfortable but she stares at the TV, enjoying her time with the young boy. They had settled on watching reruns of Wendy's all-time favorite tokusatsu show, Kamen Rider Black RX. Okay. Meanwhile, Tayo and her would exchange stories of the events that transpired to them during their initial separation. An evil mummified pharaoh? Yeah, I couldn't believe it either. After sharing their respective stories, the boy looks down at the blue-eyed girl as he drinks his fresh cup of coffee. So that's what happened. Gee, considering all you've gone through, it kinda makes me feel like I was the one who had it easier. What? It wasn't so bad. I'm just glad you're right. Me too. The two share a moment of silence before Wendy speaks up again. Hey! For subtle, Tayo senses the hesitancy in her voice. Yeah, Nathan. Do you remember it? Like all of it? Hmm? What do you mean? Like your memories, your other life. How much do you remember? When you were a moon? Tayo's taken back by this. Yeah, he had revealed he was the reincarnation of the Egyptian god Amun, and his journey in Egypt to her. But he did not expect a question like this. It's fizzy. I remember a couple of things, not too much if I'm being honest. A lot of it's cloudy and makes less sense when I try to think about it. The few things I remember will prove useful to me during my time there. Remembering certain people, including Bastet. I see. Wendy thinks over her childhood friend's words. Being able to remember things of the past life sounded so surreal to her. Yeah, it definitely does. She couldn't imagine being in his shoes. So, are we going to do something about Seth? The atmosphere of the room suddenly changed. Honestly, I don't even want to think about it asshole right now. I get that. I'm sorry. It's not your fault, don't apologize. It's more for trusting someone so clearly evil. Well, for what sounds like you two got along just fine before she continued, a thought creaked into her mind. Wait, Shin! Do you possibly remember Seth? Wendy says, putting two together. Ah, well. No, not really. Oh? Like I said, my memory says Ammon is clouded. And in terms of Seth, it seems like I wasn't really around during the time he was most active. Alright, let's try to check that. Huh. I mean, I guess... kind of? Seems like they existed at the same time. Someone is lying over here. I see. That's a shame. The room is filled with silence for a moment. Whatever his goal is, I'll stop him. I swear. I know you will. Well, what do you think we should do now? The girl jots her head up from the boy's lap and looks at him with her sparkly eyes. A date! The boy looks back, unable to match her enthusiasm. A date? Yes, a date. We haven't been in Japan for over a year. You'll take me out to eat ramen hitting the arcade all day. I mean, I can do that. Just somehow get me to the Japan right now. The boy takes a moment to consume the girl's excitement before letting out a laugh he didn't know he was holding. Huh? What's so funny? It's just we're demigods now, and yet all you can think of is going on a date. You haven't changed at all, Wendy. After hearing this, the girl is left with a crimson blush spread across her face. Shut up, shut up, shut up! I'll have you know I'm plenty mature in dealing with our celestial situation. I just want a distraction from it all. The girl in question puts on a pouty face before striking a pose. Besides, you're going back to Egypt, aren't you? Tayo is a bit shocked by this statement. He had not brought up this topic yet, but he was expected of when to put two and two together. Okay, by the way, I mean, considering that we are in Japan, are we going to meet Tamamo no Mae, my absolute legend? My favorite. Yeah, I swore an oath to Basta and the other gods to protect Egypt, so my return here to Japan is just temporary. Figured. So since we have the day, why don't we have some fun? Tayo smiles in response to this. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go! The girl grabs his arm as the pair prepare to leave the house. Let's get going then, Shin. The two walk down the local street of their house on their way towards the main city. And this should be fun. But before Wendy can take it in the outside view, a gigantic blast of crimson fire explodes right in front of them. Seriously? Like, seriously? In before it's one of the sins. After a moment of uncertainty, they both emerge out of the smoke unscathed. Before getting a moment to check on the other's well-being, they see an image of a man creeping towards them up ahead, walking through the flames. Ah, that's not flames. Flames are red, not white. This man has an extrinsic Hawaiian tattoo plastered on his left arm, reaching onto his back. Long spiky red hair flows behind his head and muscles bigger than the eyes can fathom. Well, look what I found here. If it isn't a couple of lazy no-good sun worshippers. They both have question looks as they stare at the man in front of them with cocky grins.
I hope the rumors weren't true, but it seems like this generation's gaming guys have gotten too soft for my liking. After all I see here is two sorry-looking peasants, looking like they'd rather go on a date than save the world. It's time someone kicked you both into shape.
They start charging their divine energy together when Tayo yells back at the graciously strong man. And who the hell are you supposed to be? The man's grin, which didn't seem to be able to get any wider, suddenly did.
Me? My name is not important, but if you need something to refer to me as...
The man strikes a dominating fighting pose, looking as if he's ready to launch at the two.
Call me OG-san.
I have no idea who might be. The battle begins before either of the two has a moment to prepare. Tayo, who had only planned on having a relaxing day today, was not expecting to have to fight for his life. The man with flaming red hair lunges straight at him, ignoring Wendy completely. Now, on top of Tayo, he starts pounding on the poor boy furiously. A left hook, then a right hook, over and over again until blood splatters the pavement. Wendy, angered by this, tries to take action but is taken aback for a moment. She has faced a good amount of demons up to this point, but none of them have ever given off such an aura before. This aura could only be described as one thing. The last of battle. Probably should be for battle or whatever. Tayo surges with flames underneath the giant of a man and is shocked to see it does not affect him.
If that's what called fire magic, then I'm afraid you have a long way to go, Shonin.
Oh my god, you are going to do the same stuff as Hibiki, constantly going Japanese inside of the sentence? Please don't do that.
Damn it, I didn't want to have to use this.
Tayo then puts his arms forward, unleashing his dormant ability. A latent ability that he gained through his journey, he can convert the blood in his body into a liquid gold. Okay, using that gold, he's able to form his ultimate weapon, the King's Sword. Okay, Tayo stabs the man through the arm and sends him back. Tayo then gets up, his flames surging around him as he is met with a standstill with the red beast.
That wasn't too bad. You pierced me there, boy.
Yeah, that was the point. The man holding a carnivorous grin edges on. Both fire entities proceed to launch at each other with chaotic force. Tayo is seen to be on the defensive, with his golden sword getting pushed back. His ability to create weapons, while rather unique, is still fragile in nature. As he stands now, he can only create the Golden King's Sword, for he does not have the necessary magical encryptions to create other divine weapons. Well, you are no Gilgamesh, so of course you can't do that. As it stands now, a red-haired man can break past his defensive with ease.
I see. So this is the extent of your gold creation magic. Not bad at all. However...
The carnivorous man summons two twin black axes from thin air.
This is in fact what a true holy arsenal looks like.
He then lunges at Tayo and swings both his axes at him, causing Tayo to attempt at catching them with both his hands. Sounds like a stupid idea. Losing his footing, he creates two gold pillars from his forearms and uses them as a backup. The red-haired man is charging his own firepower, causing a downward force onto the young brown-haired boy. It looks as if Tayo will be taken out of commission when the taller man is suddenly shot with an immense bolt of lightning. The red-haired man leans back from the pain, dropping his weapons in the process.
Damn, you promised you wouldn't drop. I was just starting to have fun right then.
The man in question walks up ahead with his wife following closely behind. With his... Please, don't expect me to apologize for not letting you almost kill my son. Raiden, the god of thunder, and father to the young brown-haired boy, walked over to his son in concern. What? Lame.
Are you alright, son? Forgive him. This maniac of a man truly only likes one thing, and that's to fight strong opponents.
Tayo gets up from the ground, still recovering from the short battle, and responds earnestly.
Father?
Wendy looks up at the man who just stepped stopped the battle. This man was Raiden, a business CEO of an important organization in Japan, but he's also Tayo's father and apparently a retired demigod as well. What? Ridiculous. So who even is this guy anyway? Raiden looks back at the man who is cracking his back. Then, when he notices he's being looked at, gives back a happy-go-lucky smile. This is Maui, the sun god of Samoan mythology. He's also referred to as the Fire Dragon King. We're what you may call old business partners. The man in question walks up to Raiden.
Oh, don't be so introverted. We're best friends, aren't we? My brother from another pantheon.
Maui then gives Raiden a bear hug so hard from a novice's eyes that it seems like he may be seconds away from committing murder. Raiden's wife walks up to Wendy, who was left on the sidelines during this whole exchange. Is she hot?
Are you alright, dear? Let's get you up now.
Wendy takes her hand and smiles.
I'm okay. It's nice to meet you again, madame. Haven't seen you since she and I started high school.
The adult woman laughs.
Yes, you two were so cute back then. So, are you? Oh yeah, I'm a goddess as well. The goddess of fertility. And of motherhood.
It was true. The one before them was named Mut. The Egyptian goddess fertility and Raiden's lovely wife. Okay, don't say lovely. I have not yet seen her. Prove it to me.
Wait, so...
Yeah, I had to come here to Japan so I could go under training with my father.
Training under your father? Wait, so he's really...
Yeah, the Japanese god of thunder.
I'll be honest. That might be the lamest looking god of thunder I've seen. Seriously, I thought it was a coincidence this whole time.
Yes. Why don't we keep talking in private? After the misunderstanding is cleared up, they all relocated to the pair's humble abode. Maui sits between Tayo and Wendy as they are all on their knees in the living room. Raiden is sitting on a chair right in front of them as his wife is making dinner. Game is trying to make me hungry.
Raiden, sweetie, is there anything you'd like specifically? It's been so long since I cooked anything, I'm so excited.
Raiden's looking at the tree on the floor, responds in monotone. Please just make anything while burning it is all I ask.
Dear can be so mean.
The madame responds with a pouty face, sticking her tongue out at her rude husband. So what's the plan going forward from here? Maui, who has gotten really comfortable in their house, starts to stretch and yawn, putting his legs out. Wendy looks at the two men that have arrived at her house.
These are two of the 3 remaining dragon gods. Didn't think I'd meet them so soon.
Didn't think you knew one already, technically, as well, right?
The plan thus far is to have you and the rest of the Egyptian pantheon legitimized by the church, as well as gaining the faith of the people. So our top priority for now is to make sure you're all as powerful as can be.
What do you mean? I thought I was heading back to Egypt.
About that. Me and Mood have spoken with Ra, and he believes a change in pace is in order. A change in pace? Son, it's time for you to set out to the world and familiarize yourself with other pantheons. Other pantheons? Yeah. As you are already aware, other gods from other mythologies have long since come in being, and many of the remnants still exist today. Like me and Maui, there are many other representatives of other god factions still out there today. It is in your best interest to familiarize yourself with them as the current head of your pantheon.
Is that why this beast of an ogre is here?
Wendy says, looking disapprovingly at the giant man-child in their living room.
Precisely, I thought it best to have Tayo train with someone very powerful.
Why are we talking just about him, by the way?
And Ra had suggested he'd want Tayo to be trained by a sun god specifically.
That's Raiden speaking for sure.
He'd do it himself if he were not too old and weakened.
In fact, I would have preferred trying himself if it were not for the fact I've lost most of my abilities.
What?
I see. Raiden is a god over 300 years old. In his prime, he was known as the most powerful god on Earth. He has slowly been losing his powers over decades due to the lack of both action and faith. Wow. Maui is a long-term associate of mine and he specializes in fire magic. He is more than suitable to training the next generation. All that's left is for you to decide. Decide? You mean we got a choice? Raiden sighs before answering. Yeah, of course you get a choice. We're not your wardens. You two are free to pursue the paths you see fit. As long as it's path you can be proud of then it does matter to me. You two may have been chosen by a higher power, but even so, I won't pretend like it's right that your Yao was stripped from you two. I believe you do have a right to decide where your stories must head.
Thanks, Dad. That means a lot. But honestly, this is a no-brainer for me. If this guy can help me get stronger, I would gladly go with him.
The red-haired beast wraps an arm around Tayo, beaming with joy.
Now that's the right attitude to have. I underestimated you, boy.
Raiden smiles and looks over at the blue-haired girl.
And what about you, Wendy? What do you want to pursue now?
She just wanted to go on a date. Wendy thinks for a minute, then an image of Seth pops into her head. A feeling of regret and anguish quickly washes over her before she answers. Mood then returns with a truckload of food as Maui and Tayo begin to fast. The fire gods speak a word of praise.
I forgot how good your cooking was, Mom. You're the best.
Thanks for the grab.
Oh, no problem, sweetie.
Wendy then restarts the initial conversation.
You're aware of what the poet had called before, right? The 7 deadly sins have been awakened. If something isn't done about them, then a lot of innocent people are going to get hurt.
Yeah, more of them. These seem sort of powerful. It took everything and the other dragon gods had to seal them. But it was also the battle where I started losing my powers. Wait, but you said that you were losing your powers because of lack of action. Whatever. The problem is they couldn't just be destroyed by conventional means. The only way to subdue them would be to get to the root of the very sins and destroy them from within. But at the time was not possible back there when my team engaged them, so sealing them was our only option. Understand, he spoke of the prophecy to you as well. For that reason I can understand why you'd be put off from the assignment, but as a goddess you now have a greater responsibility to the people, not the church. I may not know what you're going through, but I was once in a position of being afraid of not meeting my expectations as a god. But even so I pulled through and decided to fight for a safe world with my wife of our son, and to secure a future for all the gods that will outlive me. Tayo, after eating, looks over to Wendy and grabs her hand.
Well, I'm happy we're able to spend this time together, Wendy.
Not really, you haven't gone on a date.
Honestly, I want for you is to stay by my side permanently.
Wendy, we can find someone better. Childhood friends are not good choices, come on.
But even with that said, I can be the one who drags you down. As long as I've known you, you've always been the type of girl to do the right thing. You always put others before yourselves, and
which is stupid.
And I've always admired you for that. So even though we live in a different world now, I don't see why we should change who we are. I think you should do what you believe you should do.
Wendy couldn't help but smile his speech, which was kinda meh. Before either of them could say anything, the red giant grabbed Tayo by the back of the head.
Alright, cute mom inside, I'm taking this boy back with me ASAP.
Wendy then grabs the boy from Maui's clutches.
Hold it right there, mister. This boy isn't going anywhere until we go on our date.
The parents of the young boy watch his exchange unfold for a few minutes as the two brightly colored individuals stuck on the poor boy as he were a toy they were both unwilling to share.
Young love, we can spare a bit of time for them to enjoy themselves, can't we?
Raiden looks over at his wife before complying.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see why not let them enjoy their yacht for a bit longer. Don't I get a say in this?
No!
No.
After saying this, Raiden looks over at Wendy once more.
Well, not to rush either of you, but did you come up with an answer to my prior question?
Wendy turns back to Raiden, holding a much more determined look than before.
Yes, I've decided. Humanity is not worth saving.
I wonder how would they react if someone actually answered like this. Alright, chapter came to an end, so we'll continue tomorrow. The videos are shorter with this game. But, well, also the format is kinda... according to how I... Is it according to how I do that? Maybe. But I feel like if the chapter is basically of that length, it will make for a video. Yeah. Not like Spirit Sisters is actually being watched on the channel. Yeah. It's definitely not getting views. Let's see. I started it here. Yeah, it's not going well at all. Well, I guess nobody really is looking up this title. For, surprisingly enough, the game has its own category on YouTube. Well, I still plan to finish the game, like always, and then we'll move to something else. So, let's end it, and feel free to jump in tomorrow as well for the next chapter. As always, if you enjoyed, consider liking the video, and if you're new around,
Consider subscribing.
with that comes the perk of being protected by the ancient gods. Have a great day. Bye bye.